Okay, hello, welcome to Coach on Sports. Yours truly, Coach Kevin Bull Jones, on vacation a little bit with the wifey and friends and former teammates, football teammates. We out enjoying ourselves in Memphis, but in the meantime, some big news has hit the airwaves, and somebody caught a big fish up there in Texas, and that would be, of course, Coach Steve Sarkisian, who caught that big fish called Arch Manning. So listen, I'm going to touch on the reasons why he was able to make that deal happen in regards to picking up the number one player in the 2024, 2023 classification, the number one prospect coming out. So if you enjoy the show, please make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you give a comment. Tell me what you think about what has happened now with those Texas Longhorns, and the big Sark was able to catch that fish he was looking for. All right, so here you go, folks. Football life is good, great out here in Memphis, enjoying ourselves at a wonderful hotel, but I just had to take these few minutes. So here's why Arch Manning decided to sign with the Texas Longhorns, and it makes perfect sense. First of all, Steve Sarkisian is one of the best recruiters in college football today. He has been able, and he did so much, and you all know this, Alabama, okay, and he did so much under Coach Saban, being able to recruit great talent, okay, but here's what he adds that somewhere along the line, maybe it was just an added key to it, okay, quarterback competition. Sarkisian does coach quarterbacks. He's a quarterback guru, okay? And being able to talk football at Alabama, he had in that room great competition in Mac Jones and Bryce Young, okay? And he was able to masterfully put together some wonderful plays that not only elevated Mac Jones's performance, but it also elevated the University of Alabama. Okay, so he learned some things from a great man by the name of Nick Saban. I'm sure you all heard that name, but this is not an Alabama video, although it has ties because of the lineage of being able to recruit the top of the line kids to add value and success to a Division I program is what actually Sarkisian was able to do. So that's one thing about it. Being able to be in that room with Coach Saban, being able to have Mac Jones, Bryce Young, Heisman Trophy winners, and being able to nurture that type of quarterback talent was essential. And I'm sure that the Manning brothers, along with Dad, were able to see that. Here's another part that was very important. Coach Sark made sure that was the only quarterback he wanted from day one. Okay. Now, keep in mind, he probably learned that from who, once again, that man down in Tuscaloosa. But he made sure that he let Arch Manning know that you're my guy. You're the only one I want. The assistant coaches that were able to be a part of that recruiting process from day one were magical. I mean, consistent, and at all times he was let it be known in that cultivating that relationship of a recruit and college coaches that you're my guy regardless of anything else that goes on. I don't want any other quarterback. That's a bold statement in college football. When you're not recruiting any other quarterbacks, and this is your guy from day one. Okay, so he made sure that the value, how important Arch Manning was to the Texas Longhorn program, he made sure that he knew it and the family knew it, which is just beautiful. That's what you want. That's what a kid wants to be thought of as one of the top players in the nation, and he wants to be loved and thought of as their guy. So another point that came up in it. Now listen, Georgia and Alabama, of course, everybody knows were the top two finalists along with Texas, but there's some things going on at Georgia coming off a national championship. There are some values to that program. They're the reigning national champions. You're not creating the success there. Okay, you're going to be part of the success. Okay, University of Alabama, of course. You still have Bryce Young in the seat. Of course, Bryce is going to leave after this fall. And then you got this Superman called Jalen Milrose who's there, who's a bigger, faster, stronger version of Lamar Jackson. And also the Elstein kid just committed to Bama. So That tells you which way they were going. So Alabama has had a sustained amount of success in the last couple of years. So what are you creating? And in my mind, as a coach, sports fans, this is what I think was the thing that really set it off for Texas. Texas was able to show Arch Manning that you're going to be my guy and you're going to help take this program to a different level. Now, just so happens that Casey Thompson, quarterback, the reigning starting quarterback there, who transferred to Texas from Nebraska, has already gone into the transfer portal. So, i.e., somebody in that quarterback room, when he closed the door, let him know that, okay, this is what's going down. Also, Ewers is there. Quinn Ewers, a transfer from Ohio State, is there. So you have quite a few dudes there. Now you got the number one quarterback in the nation going to be there, probably in January. So with that happening, you got some forces to reckon with. Casey Thompson did a great job. He did yeomanship job there, but he already hit the transfer portal. So now you have Quinn Ewers, who's going to be the gunslinger. He's going to have this year to himself. And I really say to himself because he was a five-star, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation coming out of high school. He originally committed to Texas. Then he flipped to Ohio State, had to sit. Now, cooler heads prevail. Wise coach once told me that's why pencils have erasers on the end of them, because sometimes you make mistakes. And that's what he did. He should have stuck with Texas from day one. But now he's going to be in the driver's seat, supposedly. And of course, for me, it's about competition. And his competition won't come until next spring when Arch Manning gets there. And listen, this is what Sark is improving on. He already mentioned it after this past season for Texas. And of course, everybody knows Texas wasn't a very good team. Okay, so they got some building blocks they have to work on. But what Coach Sarkisian says, we have to get better at the quarterback position. That has to be the most dominating position on the field. And you can't have average plays. You have to have the plays that are wow plays, the plays that leads teams to wins, comeback victories on the road. It is a mindset. And that's one area that I think, Ewers is going to be in the driver's seat this fall. But, he's going to have to keep it. He's going to have to keep the job, because when the Manning kid gets there, when he gets there in January, listen, the show is going to begin, and it elevates the competition of both players. And of course, Coach Sark knows that, and that is so fascinating to watch how these guys are going to compete. But keep in mind, Quinn Ewers has to win that job this fall. Okay, listen, if there's one thing that Coach Sarkisian learned from Nick Saban is nothing is given, everything is earned. And my hat's off to him for letting Ewers know that, hey, there's going to be a competition here. Get your mind right. So with that being said, let me tell you what Arch Manning has that other quarterbacks don't have. He has a support group of successful relatives at the position that he plays that are Super Bowl champions, okay? Hall of Fame, okay? He's got that support group. Does he have the measurements? Yes. Does he throw a great ball? Yes. Does he have the intangibles? Can he run? Very good runner. Dad Cooper was a very good athlete as well. Runs way better than Eli and his uncle Peyton. So, he has that going for him. Does he see the field well? Can he scramble to throw? Yes, he can. Can he throw in tight windows? Yes, he can. But here's the common denominator that Arch Manning will have. When you hit that wall, when those dudes that can really run are coming at you, when those guys that can really cover are covering your guys, can you be the guy? Can you lead that team down the field? Okay, will you be that guy? And the advantage he's going to have is his support room. When he comes off that field, sports fans, I'm telling you, I'm getting excited, getting goosebumps thinking about it. He's got those dudes in his ear. He's got his grandfather. Okay, he's got his uncle. He's got his both uncles. Okay, and then then he has the quarterback guru, Coach Steve Sarkisian. So that leads to remember back in the day, my wife worked as a juvenile court counselor. and graduated of North Carolina Central, and she worked in that Durham area, did a great job. And then our daughter also graduated from North Carolina Central, studied criminal justice, and she also went into that same field as a teen court coordinator right there in that Raleigh Durham area. And it's crazy because some of the people that my daughter Alana worked with were some of the same people that my wife worked with when she was in Durham, North Carolina. So what am I saying? There's something about that innate ability to learn from people in your family how this is supposed to look, how it's supposed to feel, and the mode of operation. Arch Manning has the edge, the mode of operations. Okay, when things go disarray, when you got to prepare for sudden change on your job, my daughter had a wife, you know, veteran in the same field, work with the same people. Okay, now in this, flip it back to Arch Manning and his uncles. They okay, of course. You know, Sarkisian didn't play with his uncles. However, that room of expertise on preparing for sudden change, making the proper reads, making the proper checks, okay, between the ears is what's probably going to elevate him to be one of the best college footballs and best quarterbacks in college football. But that's not it. Here's here's the silver lining, folks. He doesn't have to do that right now. He doesn't have to do it now because he's still finishing up his senior year of high school football coming up this fall. And then when he gets there, Texas still has to bring in some better players. So hint, watch all the players that decide that they want to play with a Manning. Because when you play with a Manning, it means you're destined for greatness. And that's the bottom line. And guess what? Texas wasn't a very good team last year. Probably won't be as good this year, but better. But once again, this is Coach One Sports. And, you know, I advocate for all coaches because I am one. And when it's all said and done, I want everybody to get off Sarkisian's back. All those haters down there in Texas that don't like him and want him out the door, leave him alone. Let him coach. Let him build a greatness because he learned it from a great man down in Tuscaloosa. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the show. Arch Manning is going to be the future of Texas. Eventually, Texas is going to be in the top echelon in the SEC, Big 12, wherever the heck they are. But what is college football without Texas, not Texas Longhorns, not being up in the top four? It's not the same without Texas in the group. Okay, so all that being said, you enjoy the show. Please make sure that you subscribe. Hit that button. I got more for you. I know I'm on vacation. Wife, let me come down and do this show real quick. Wonderful hotel we're staying in down here in Memphis. But guess what? Make sure that you subscribe, join, you leave a comment. I'll definitely respond back to you. Thank you for watching the show. And once again, Sarkisian did it, you all. He grabbed the big fish. Hats off to him. I salute you, Coach Sark. Best of wishes to you. Hope everything goes well. Arch Manning, have a great senior year. Make it special. Make it great. Bring home a ring. We'll talk to you later. Coach One Sports. We're out.